think it's important that we don't laugh through the conditions that we find ourselves as a people. You're the best of minds. Anyone who is able to train and become a lawyer in Nigeria represents the elite of our society. What's going on is an abandonment of responsibility by the elite of our country. The truth is, the people of this country, the larger population of the poor, are almost trapped in intractable poverty. Some 133 million are perniciously in that state of poverty. One thing that is fundamental are the choices that we make as a people. And guess what? The lawyers determining the rule of law of this society and what is rewarded, what is punished, are the heart of it. The question that I hope your conference this year would force each of you to ask is, should there be an evaluation of what our profession has done to provide the necessary guardrails for the behavior of our political class? It's not to be that we, as the privileged class, for as long as you're educated, you're a privileged class, we need to understand that this society lays prostrate for the poor right now, some 133 million of them, that a distorted incentive society is making it impossible for them to actually have a quality of life that is close enough to just being normal. And therefore, I am praying that as the legal profession, you can agree that there is serious discussions that are making it difficult for anyone that cares about tomorrow. But I do know that I know some of you, and you're some of the best minds that we have in this society. So, stop trading this profession. Stop giving this profession over to a bunch of lousy politicians that want to destroy generations here and unborn. Don't invite me.
Of course, that was the statement coming from Dr. Oby Ezekwesili. To start this conversation, I would like to just do a handover of some buttons to my lord.
No, it's Lord.
I know. Okay, me lord. On this place. This is in this area because it is.
I'm not here to.
I know. It's okay. It's not yet.
It paralyzed me.
Okay.
I don't want to be. No, that's not my direction. That's not your direction.
Okay. So, but let's bring it to you, Somina. What hearing her, listening to her, the things that she said. What do you feel is fundamental? Like she said, that because we know that lawyers are very key and important to bringing forth right judgment and justice and fairness and equity for everybody. And she talked about the startling 133 million Nigerians and every other thing. How did you feel hearing that statement?
Okay, so I think first there's nothing she has said, and as I said with the greatest respect, there's nothing she has said that is quite different. That was a very perfect closing line. It tailors down to the problems we have in our country, which is the problem of leadership. That's something that has even Ojienoh Achebe even had to write a book about the problem of Nigeria, the trouble with Nigeria. But then what has made this quite topical, as it would seem, is because of the platform in which it was spoken. The annual general conference of the Nigerian Bar Association is actually the largest gathering of professionals in Africa. You have, and I think, yes, in Africa, you have about 14,000 to 15,000 conferees, on site, and then you have thousands more who would join virtually. So I mean, so it's such a huge platform, but it's something, and I like the fact that she tried to re-echo the duty which we owe as lawyers to society. The first lawyer in Nigeria, Sapara Williams, was the one who said that a lawyer lives for the direction of his people and for the advancement of the cause of his country. And that charge, it's that we can't just afford to fold our hands and then see our nation go the way it is going. However, I think that these points should be made clearly, because it will seem that whenever we talk about leadership in Nigeria, we situate leadership only with respect to the federal government.
Yeah.
And the closest governments to the people in a country that ought to be working is this local government and the states.
True.
So this is not actually a celebration or an indictment of, I think it's just an indictment of the entire political class. But the points which she made are things we cannot fold our, and then we all seem to also be complicit. As of today in Nigeria, the highest destiny changing offices are two. I wouldn't want to talk about one because it might be very, very controversial. But the first is politics. The first is politics, and that's why people run into politics. So they're not going to leadership to solve problems collectively. They're actually going to solve poverty problems. So you see someone who just gets into politics, gets into political offices, and then in a year or two, his fortunes have changed. And then I tell you that even for us as society, we are also complicit in that. Because if a person goes into public office, comes back the way he is, it is even those in society that will also abuse him. If the car you are driving, you drove that car as a commissioner, and after as a commissioner, that's the only thing you were able to acquire, your people would also abuse you that you wasted their slots because it was the opportunity. So it's while it's good to have this conversation, it's also important that there needs to also be a reorientation, because you cannot take from one hand and then expect that the other hand will supply what has been taken.
True.
If we want to talk about leadership, we must go back to the core values of integrity, of vision, of holding people accountable, not turning blind eyes.
Ezekwesili said here at this conference, is she indicting only the legal luminaries? Because she said they are the few privileged people, but from her tone of voice, she's indicting them to their face, that they are part of the bigger picture, probably in the bigger picture of the Nigerian road today. When she said if they like, they don't invite her again, she has told them the truth. How would you react to what Dr. Ezekwesili said? Told the lawyers, because it seems she's telling them to their face, no, not be the problem.
Okay, I would have just been able to just laugh it off, the way, especially the way you presented it. But I would like to make it clear that what was happening within the NBA conference was almost like a kiddie cabinet issue. I must confess to you that we tell ourselves this every single time, and it's not new. One of my heroes in this profession, his name is Louis Brandeis, of course, he's not dead. He gave a famous speech in 1905, more than 120 years ago, talking about the fact that he was complaining bitterly that lawyers were known, they were trusted to be the advisors of men, and they were preferred to be the ones to lead the society, but at some point they failed in that objective, and they decided to be selling their intellect and intelligence and integrity to the highest bidders at the time. And at the time, I was talking about the biggest companies that were using the best of lawyers to get the highest of profits. It was complaining bitterly about that situation. I was put in exactly this situation about earlier this year. I was made to head a panel, just like Madam Oby Ezekwesili said, and I did exactly the same thing. I see Mr. Johnbull there, and he can probably confirm some of these things I'm saying. Every time we meet as lawyers, we try to tell ourselves, we remind ourselves that we are the ones that the people trust the most when it comes to advising men. No politician can do whatever it is they can possibly do without the advice or guidance of lawyers. We usually say that there is no position without opposition. It's only people who are not that far that don't have lawyers. So people who are started amounting to things in life, they know that they will need persons who are versed in law to perpetually guide them. So that's what makes the lawyer of extreme importance. And I usually remind people that do you want a society where there are no lawyers or where lawyers are not active? I commend you to China. I commend you to North Korea. I commend you to Russia. Yeah, you don't want to live in Equatorial Guinea where lawyers cannot speak. The fact that we have lawyers that can speak is showing that the society is a free one and it's going to be a progressive one. And one of the Nobel laureates recently that was awarded a Nobel laureate, I think this year, he actually associated freedom to exercise various rights to economic prosperity. China is the indigenous society in the world, and it's almost also a given that by the same proportion is also the most economically prosperous nation in the world. Of course, UK, since Canada, mentioned them all. China seems to be somehow an exception to that, and it's because, well, we just, as much as possible, in order not to talk too much on this point, lawyers are of extreme importance, but when we get the opportunities to talk to ourselves in our conferences, in seminars where we know that it's only lawyers that are there, we try to remind ourselves of the spiritual responsibility. And I love what Mr. Johnbull said, that some people are the guardians of the destiny of the people, especially. And he mentioned politicians. And I feel that lawyers, because perpetually depended upon by politicians, I think that lawyers are of extreme importance. There are a lot of truisms in what Madam Oby Ezekwesili said, and I'm very, very proud of her. But she was talking in a close, what's supposed to be a closed society. We must remember that George Bernard Shaw, it was who said every profession is a conspiracy. I know that when they make us to gather, they talk, they tell themselves some frontal truths that is peculiar to them. When surveyors gather too, they tell themselves some truths that is poignant to them, and just mention the profession, because we have to look for a way to ensure that at the end of the day, the various professions are for the advancement of society. So lawyers must keep talking. Madam Ezekwesili should not be discouraged. She should be invited at some other time, and people like her, and she should be free to say whatever it is she wants to say. And when she's invited, she should come.
Okay, thank you so much. Now I just want to move to, of course, Comr West. She had mentioned something that in this present period where we're beginning to see prebendalism. And that is a prebendalism where we see people just, it's where government officials and politicians are just doing a lot of things with corruption, nepotism, clientism, all like I was saying in our own parlance, I'm lawyer, sir. All of the loyalists just ensuring that they're packing everything. When you hear that coming from someone in the civil liberty right, and all these things you are saying, and you heard it. How did you feel? Do we need to amplify much of this conversation, like she said?
Yeah, of the truth, we need to amplify it more. The problem of Nigeria is character reformation. So if that is the issue, we need to continuously, at every given point in time, the opportunities are there to re-echo and re-echo it. For me, I think one great problem we have in this country is the problem of psychophancy, praise singing. Even when the person is not doing the right thing, it is obvious before our eyes that indeed the leadership style or the style of governance is not commensurate to what we are supposed to get.
Yeah.
The same people who will say no, the policies you are bringing out as government, these policies will not work. Rather than confronting government directly to say we are opposed to these policies you are bringing, these same people, because of stomach infrastructure, will tell government that look, everything is in order. The policies you are bringing, fantastic. Otherwise, why should we, today as we speak, if you go to Rivers State, we have a state of emergency. And the same people from Rivers State there will tell Mr. President that what you have done is just the best thing for us. Are we in a proper state of mind, knowing fully well that a government was elected into power to give to us the needed developmental services we want, and at the end of the day, for no reason, just because some people should knock out, if at all it was done, then the government will rely on the provisions of the same constitution, whether the interpretation they are giving to it is what the constitution says or not, goes ahead to declare a state of emergency, in my humble opinion, which is an illegal emergency, so to say. And the same people from Rivers State will tell the president what you have done is the right thing. As we speak, tomorrow Saturday, local government election will be conducted. And some people are giving credence to it. So our problem is psychophancy. We are the ones encouraging these people to do what they are doing to us. It's like aiding the oppressor to oppress us, the oppressed. That is how I look at it. So we must change our mindset. And these politicians too, they have identified our weakness. That look, keep these people for hunger for 2 days and leave the rest. They will all be with you. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Here we are in Nigeria today, even when the Nigerian law, the constitution, and the electoral act did not say that you must belong to 2 political parties at the same time. We have seen the political dynamics now changing to where, for some they say it's rainbow, for some they say it's coalition. A man will belong to 2 parties at the same time. I've not seen it done before, but the movement is changing towards that direction. We are no longer talking about internal party discipline again. We are no longer talking about loyalty to party. Now you are free to be in party A and party B. The choice is yours. So we need to change our system. You don't see a wrong and justify it to be a right because of what you want to benefit from it at that material time. After benefiting, it will not last. When it is no longer there again, some people will come to tell you, I made the greatest mistake. Is it not in Nigeria we see our same politicians, leaders, like for instance, El-Rufai will today come out to tell me, I never knew President Tinubu is the worst. These were the same people who came to say, no, if it is not President Tinubu, even when we are saying we cannot have a Muslim ticket by virtue of the structure of Nigeria. But today, that same man who gave credence to that thing is now saying, I made a mistake. Are we supposed to be following this kind of leaders? We must wake up from our cocoon and do the right thing.
Barrister Somina, in your summation, you talked about some things. Even Dr. Oby Ezekwesili talked about holding leaders accountable. Holding leaders accountable. And, many a times, Nigerians feel as though there's a hoodwinking that everything has to go from the center. It's also everything happens to Tinubu. Anybody in seat of power is Tinubu. There was a time we thought Jonathan, and we call Buhari, now it's Tinubu. But forget these other persons to the local government, and you mentioned them. How do Nigerians really get to hold these people accountable also in partnership with the law too as well. Because if you don't know the law, then sometimes you go against the law, and if you go against the law, something is happening. So that lawyers too can help to balance this equation, to hold accountable these people. Because end of the day, we hear cases like someone is alleged in some corruption cases, and end of the day, there's a tap on the wrist and he's left out.
Well, I think first, I don't think as a society we are ready. You know, we can just mount platitudes. However, if you want to take a step, we would bring about certain primordial sentiments. You know, you find out that so we're not united. There's nothing that unites us together as a common cause for which you can take a common position. My point is not everybody must not support everything.
True.
But I bet you, if you want to there are certain steps you want to take now, and an enlightened citizenry. You see, government's attitude in delivery of governance is directly proportionate to what they view or how they view the citizenry. So, which is why a government can do nothing and just know that on the day of election we share money, bag of rice, and they will vote. They would vote. So whilst we must, talk about leadership at the top, but we must also galvanize from the bottom up. A lot of people who have died in Nigeria, it's not because it's their time to die, but most likely because of lack of functional hospitals.
True.
How many persons? I went to my mother's village in River State, Bakana. Now, and I just thought to myself, there's just a function. There's a hospital that has a doctor that comes once a week. Once a week. So imagine somebody has a crisis, and this is a place that you see go by boat. By 6, boats have stopped running. So imagine 6 in the evening. So imagine you have a crisis in that evening. There's one doctor in that entire community. Who do you blame? And so if somebody has died, we say God has called him home. No, the lack of failure of governance called him home. There are many people who have died because of failure of governance. True. This thing is very, very important. Look at our schools. Move around. Local governments have virtually abandoned their responsibilities. They abandoned their responsibilities. And when somebody wants to build a primary school now, you build a primary school that even your children cannot attend. Look at the aesthetics of even the architecture of primary schools. Basic things are missing. Chairs, desk, books. They still use blackboards in today's blackboards that we used in today's world where people should be learning with tech.
Yeah. And the white chalkboards and for markers and everything.
We have the world has even gone through that particular level.
Yeah.
That's why whiteboard has passed. Today we are still using. They are telling people to buy chalk that they used to teach us. Children now. So if my primary school teacher who is dead comes back to life, she will still be able to function as a teacher because there's nothing that has changed. There's nothing that has changed. So we must hold, the citizens need to realize that the reason why we are the way they are, so most times when you talk, it's even people that tell that he's a troublemaker. He's troublesome. Government doesn't like him. He's troublesome. So we must realize that we actually undo ourselves. Every time you drive past a bad road. Now, in Nigeria, one of the skills you must learn as a driver is ability to navigate through potholes. Instead of being incensed that we have potholes, you are telling your driver or somebody, drive, you don't know I go take pass, put your leg this side, put one leg down. I mean, nobody is concerned about it.
How sad.
It's so sad. It is very, very sad. It's very, very sad. And so we must hold our people accountable. Everything, because once you get into government, at a level, and then I say this, Tinubu will not come and fix the roads in Bayelsa or in Ikiemoye or in Angiama. But imagine we have 3 layers of government. So if the local government were doing the ones they will do, the state government is also doing what it will do, I don't see why Nigeria will still be in this particular state. What is an achievement for a local government now is that I'm paying salaries. That is the only project. In short, once a local government chairman even does that,
How can we grow beyond these different political sentiments of separation and defeatism that they've learned to really get better and hold them truly accountable? Please. Okay.
For me, I think that it has eaten so deep, and I pray that it is not stage 4 cancer at this stage.
We can hear you. Hello?
Okay, I don't know if you can still hear me.
We can hear you loud and clear. Okay, we can hear you. Okay, but while we're waiting that, now I think the phone lines now.
Okay, so like I was saying, I pray for at this stage because it's just very easy to trigger. Any point, you are now slave to buzzwords. By the time they just trigger religion, they trigger my brother, my state, and like that. They can practically get away with murder. So, as possible, I feel that Gneda has said it's enlightenment going to be this enlightenment, and there's also the famous quote by I think the former president, the last Chubauka, he actually said that it's still tied by the ropes of ethnic groups.
Okay, we'll come back to you. We'll come back to you this time. Let's now open the phone lines. The phone lines are open, and of course, you can also drop your comments on our Facebook page. That is 97.5 Golden FM, and we'll be taking your comments. But right now, you can kindly call the numbers 0707 747 1522 or 0912 000 1975. Quickly, and when you call, please be very civil in your conversation. This is key and important. Hello, good morning. Hello. Oh, sorry, we lost that. Please kindly call back, and please, for all of our callers, the moment you call, please, you could kindly move away from your radio set. It is important for us to hear you clearly. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name?
Yeah, I did the house once again. I still remain reporting from America.
Okay, please go ahead.
I greet all the source person that you get out because it's all important topic. I thank you very much for doing this.
Okay.
Very important. I think this topic is very important. I mean, if you want to look at it politically, I think it's high time we enlighten, especially the populace, concerning this particular discourse, because this is exactly what they have used, like this discourse, to impoverish the people or to confuse the people. It's high time populists are enlightened concerning this particular discourse. I think, looking at it from the 2027 election that's coming, I think this is a wake-up call. Which you guys should please do more, not only on this platform, I think in other platforms also. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Noted. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Let's quickly, please.
I'm interested to discuss this day. For me, I think much, although you've spoken much, you've spoken well, and it boils down to orientation. again, first, I was just glad that we have to understand that orientation remains key. The question is how will Nigerians be able to, change this scenario? First, you get the orientation. In the orientation, they say the willpower to do certain things. There's nothing like willpower. If you get the orientation, you already have the power. The persons who are in this institution that tend to change the scenario, more or less maybe antagonists. If you are to go through the process in all establishments to get things right, there are not people who are enlightened. And these people are educated. Don't they have the understanding of things that will be done right? But
Oh, sorry, we lost that. Okay, point noted. The lines I see there, just kindly call quickly before we go on a short break. 0707 747 1522, and let's hear you. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Your name, please.
Yeah, my name is Faisano. I'm back there, Mo. I'm
Okay.
calling from Onoka community.
Okay, please quickly.
Mass impoverishment have been used as a weapon against, especially the electorate. I remember in 2023 presidential election.
Okay.
Some persons were buying vote for 10,000, 15, 20,000. In my own case, I told them 1 million naira last. If you cannot pay, go.
So you are willing to, you are even willing
That
to
means
sell.
if they're giving you, would you have collected the 1 million?
Listen to me. Please listen to me. None of them can say 1 million. If they say if they say they want to pay 1 million, I will tell them $1 million. I was telling them you cannot buy me.
Nice. That
is what I mean.
Yeah.
I voted for the candidate. I didn't collect shishi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Somina Johnbull. It's unfortunate, this scenario, we are joining everybody together. But Madam Ezekwesili was trying to point out a group that is privileged, that should be in between the masses and the politicians, which is the legal profession. I remember at that conference, the Sultan of Sokoto used the word, he said, justice can be purchased in Nigeria. And unfortunately, some of this privileged group, some have rose to become politicians, and they seem not to make any difference in the system. Is it a case of the whole overshadowing the privileged few that could start to make a change?
Okay,
because we have governors that are lawyers,
yes,
we have senators that are lawyers, we have ministers that are lawyers, and it seems not to make any difference.
No,
so is it a case of you people just do the jamboree after the drinking of the tea?
You can hold on to the line of thought, and because we're going on the break, short break right now, and when we come back, you will go to be answering that. Don't forget, it's still Let's Talk Nigeria. We'll be right back after this. Barrister Somina, but you were going to react to what he says. Just because of timing. What will be your final summation concerning these things going forward? Because as it's 2025, 2027 is looking at us like very close. What do you have to say to Nigerians?
Well, the fate of our country is in our hands, and you see the opportunity to vote. It's not just a civic responsibility. It's actually I think the most crucial building blocks for how you want the society to be. So if you decide not to vote, you are also building it inadvertently. If you decide to vote for money, you are also be building it. Because let me tell you, once the politicians realize that the power is in the hands of the electorate, they would either shape up or they know that they will ship out. And let us stop dignifying politicians who are in public office, because once they enter there, we throw all sorts of burdens on them. I have my mother's 10th year burial anniversary. My grandfather's marriage is coming. You know, because once, and they know that if you don't give you the money, you will also be the one to also abuse them.
Yes.
Yes, well, thank you. David West, what will be your final submission on this?
I think for me, this matter is a very serious issue. Let me look at, with respect to the Temple of Justice. As far as I'm concerned, any other profession can misbehave or can have misconduct or do any other thing. But for me, the Temple of Justice must not let it maintain that temple. While growing up, if I see a judge, I see him as if I'm seeing God. If I see a lawyer, I see him as if I'm seeing an angel. So, as lawyers or messengers in the Temple of Justice, please don't allow Nigerians, the citizens, to begin to lose hope. For instance, a judge in Abia State not too long ago was dismissed for forgery. If you that would sentence somebody for forgery, you are the one falsifying your age, forgery, it calls for worry. So please, the Temple of Justice must remain a Temple of Justice. That is the only hope of
But
everybody.
please, I'm interjecting you just quickly. We've seen, just like this case you mentioned, it has become common where white is no longer white in Nigerian courts. We've seen cases where, this one is white, but a lawyer will come. Is it a faulty system, a faulty constitution, or he just want to be greedy?
It's not a faulty system. It is not a faulty constitution. One thing you have to know is the practice of law, the legal profession. In fact, for the law to be a law, you need to test it. So it is white to you. I will come to tell you it is not white to me. I have my reasons to say it is not white.
Is it inducement?
No, it's not inducement. Listen. Sometimes we look at some issues from just on the basis of it's supposed to be like this. It is not. It's supposed to be like this. Maybe the rules of court did not say so.
But it can justice be bought in Nigeria?
Not only in Nigeria, even in abroad, in America too, it can be bought. But what we are saying is, it is dangerous for justice to be bought. Okay. Justice is not for sale.
The moment you're saying that, well, I'm seeing Justice Ojienoh laugh and he's smiling. And Justice Ojienoh, you are smiling now. I will always put it to you in this matter. What do you have to say concerning this thing? What do you have to say? Because we've seen it. All of a sudden, some persons were there. They vied for particular office as for Senate, and suddenly we saw them from Supreme Court saying, "Okay, you are allowed to be in the presidential."
The contested presidential
primaries, and also the Senate.
And the contested Senate at the same time, just like you are saying now.
Yes.
Some people are in Party A and they are Party B, and lawyers will defend them.
And it happens. So please, Mr. Justice Ojienoh, let's hear you.
I want to believe that Mr. Johnbull is most likely my senior, even though I don't know when he's called to the bar. So I know that he too will be amused at the kind of conversations. Particularly, I love Mr. David West. Mr. David West, please continue to revere the judges you see and the lawyers you see. And I love the arguments you are proposing. One of the difficulties that people don't know, that the ethics of our profession in police on us, is that there's something called the cab rank rule. Cab rank rule means that if even you kill somebody, you murder somebody, the next lawyer you meet is like, when we're talking about cab rank rule, they're talking about the UK airport. The taxi or the cab that is next in line must give you a ride to wherever it is you are going to. So that's why the next lawyer you meet and you say, I just killed somebody, please come and defend me in court. The person the lawyer has a burden to actually defend you in court. That's what the ethics of our profession says. It is the prosecution that has the other burden of proving before a court that indeed you actually committed the murder. So it is an ethical issue for us. It is something that has to be done. Otherwise, people that have been lied against, they will not be vindicated in court. There are a lot of things and a lot of issues that are litigated in the court of public opinion that goes into the court of law that eventually turns out to be wrong, because what we use to decide a matter in court is not the truth. It is evidence. And it is not the making of lawyers, it is the making of lawmakers. And it is impossible for a judge to be everywhere at the same time. So the judge will be where he's supposed to be, which is the court, except where he's going to what we call locus in quo, where he has to go and check exactly on site. But 99.9% of the time, he has to sit down in court. And two lawyers, pursuant to our adversarial mode of practice, two lawyers will come and present cold, hard facts and evidence before the court in order to be able to sway the court. Sometimes we have situations where it is bad lawyering, or maybe on the side of the prosecution, on the side of the defense, that actually makes us have absurd decisions from the court, and then we now put all the blame on the court. And our laws actually say that every lawyer that has been retained by a client, that lawyer has a duty to use all his energy, all his wit, all his dexterity to actually plead the case of his client. And there's a presumption that two lawyers are equal. Whether one is 30 years at the bar and he has 10,000 senior advocate titles, whilst the other one is just 1 day old at the bar, there's a presumption that they are equal. So it now behoves on the client to try to see how he can integrate and disintegrate and separate choose good lawyers, even though we also know that one of my professors will say that the gates of the Golden Gate restaurant are always open, but the poor cannot go into it. Golden Gate restaurant is one of the most expensive restaurants in Lagos. So you have to try to get good proven counsel that will do a good case for you and do everything you can to pay him right and pay him well. And he will plead your case for you according to our laws. These are our laws. These are our laws. The judge is not supposed to decide based on emotions or passion. I'm not also going to be naive to say that there are not bad eggs in the system, bad judges and corrupt judges and all. But again, it behoves on us to try to see that we excise them from the system, and we also, as politicians, as people generally, we don't. As Nigerians, we don't put the pressure on them to try to collect bribe or even blackmail them in some cases, because a lot of these things, if there is no bribery given, there will be bribery taken. The judge will not come to you and say you must give me so amount. Usually, people that approach them either directly or through their assistants or through their friends or colleagues to actually take inducement. I know I've said a lot of things, but sometimes these are some of the things that our laws actually say, and the laws are being followed. In a lawyer being zealously maybe representing the Senate president who participated in a presidential primary and things like that. So it now behoves on the other lawyer also arguing zealously, and we always pray that we'll have a neutral judge who will check all the evidence and actually decide in one way or the other. But again, I have to circle back to Mr. David West. Please, we have to keep respecting the lawyers. We have to keep respecting the judges. We do this every single time. We attack each other. We talk to ourselves whenever we are in a closed room, like good brothers should do. And it is not a new thing. Just like I cited to you earlier, in the law, a popular article written by Louis D. As 120, so it was encouraging lawyers. It has always been the practice, and we won't stop. Even 1 year from now, 200 years from now, whenever we find ourselves in the room, we'll keep telling ourselves the truth.
Okay, Justice Ojienoh, you will stay with us. We'll go on a short break by 10 to take our news updates, and the conversation will continue. Just stay with us. This program will be extended till 11 after the news update by 10, so I can allow more calls to come in. Don't forget, it's getting hot, even though we are in the chilled room here. Being flanked by two lawyers, two legal luminaries. So yes, they are good. I'll tell you, Barrister Somina is a good friend at David West. Before we go on the break, I was making... I think Ojienoh has really touched on it.
Yeah.
About the issue of justice being bought. He said, no, if there's no buyer, there will not be seller, as the case may be. And I was saying that this privilege, I'm using the words of Madam, this privileged few, when you people are in the room and you talk, after the talk, and subsequently before the following year, are there avenues of really punishing erring ones amongst you?
Okay.
And shaming them?
I think first I listened to the conversation you had with David West, and I must commend him for having a very balanced position. Because first, there's actually, and with respect, fundamental misconception of as to, and that's the point our colleague from Lagos said. Now, whilst the court is there to search for the truth, and I think I must just make it clear, truth is based on evidence.
Yeah.
It's based on facts presented. So it is true, it is correct that you might have a right, you might have a valid complaint, but if you're not able to present it within the realm of the law, substantive and adjectival, you are going to suffer loss. And at that point, you now misunderstand. So it's not just a Nigerian thing. It's been a burden that has been, this issue of justice is being bought, I mean, from the days of old. If you even read Shakespeare play, you say kill all the lawyers, So there's this misconception about lawyers, and it must really, that is why some people just see on their street, they say Barrow is a lawyer. You don't know his competence, you don't know anything. So, and then once it happens, the fall guy is not Barrow. The fall guy is the judge.
Based on Barrow and Judge, while we are there, we're going to go on this break, of course. Take the news and we'll right back up. Thank you.
Too bright. Other stations can't touch this. Yeah, that's how we living, and can't touch this. News update at 10 on Golden FM.
Good morning and thank you for joining us on the news update at 10. The National Economic Council, NEC, has unveiled a new framework for Nigeria's development, tagged the Renewed Hope Plan 2026 to 2030. The plan announced at the NEC meeting chaired by Senator Kashim Shettima by ASU from 2009 and 2011 were only proposals, not binding agreements. He also denied reports of a scheduled meeting between himself, ASU, and the Labour Minister, describing them as false. But in a swift reaction, Professor Chris Piwuna, ASU president, faulted the minister's claim. He said Dr. Alausa's statement shows government's poor record-keeping culture, stressing that past agreements with the union cannot be dismissed as mere drafts. The federal government has defended the recent hike in Nigerian passport fees, describing it as necessary to curb corruption and ensure timely delivery of travel documents. The Nigerian Immigration Service had on Thursday announced an increase in passport fees effective September 1st. The new charges are 100,000 naira for the 32-page passport with 5-year validity and 200,000 naira for the 64-page passport with 10-year validity. Nigerians in the diaspora, however, will continue to pay $150 and $230 for the same categories. Defending the hike during his minister's mid-tenure performance retreat, Dr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, Minister for Interior, said the increase will guarantee faster processing, reduce human interference, and eliminate extortion in passport issuance. Mr. Buchi Atuawu, popular gospel singer and social commentator, has raised concerns about the future of Nigerian youths, blaming wrong societal models, poor education, and misplaced values. Mr. Buchi, who featured as a guest on Let's Talk Nigeria Golden FM's morning program, said not all young people have the capacity to rule the country because many have lost interest in real learning. He lamented that people of questionable character are often celebrated in society, while those who work hard are ignored. The Mama crony also faulted politicians and the elite, accusing them of deliberately denying masses access to education. The singer insisted that primary education should be free, stressing that it is a right, not a political favor. To curb social vices, Mr. Buchi called for the return of moral instruction, free secondary education, and stronger guidance and counseling in schools. He also suggested that cult groups be formally registered and held accountable, while non-cultists should be recognized and honored. A Rivers State High Court sitting in Port Harcourt has dismissed a suit seeking to stop the local government elections scheduled for Saturday, August 30th in the state. Justice Somina Johnbull ruled against the ex parte application filed by Mr. Williams Abayomi Stanley, a lawyer, for lacking of merit. However, the judge granted an order for substituted service on President Bola Tinubu and the Attorney General of the Federation, who are among the defendants in the suit. The substantive case has been adjourned to September 10th for hearing. That was the news update at 10. For news stories, comments, and observations, please send us an email at goldenfmyenagwa@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, and TikTok on 97.5 Golden FM. Good morning.
Make your radio totori you for belle. Golden FM 97.5. We play great music.
Hit music. Hit music.
And everything golden. On 97.5 Golden FM. Shining brighter than ever. 97.5 FM. The gold standard of radio.
Yes, welcome back to Let's Talk Nigeria. It is still the conversation that we are having. It is an interesting conversation. And before we went to the break, Bryce, Somina, we're talking about the barrow and the different conversations.
Yes, so I just thought mine was just to add to what
Jacobson
had said. You know, yes, there are complaints, but I do not also think, and this I stand to be corrected, that there is any other profession that is as heavily regulated as the legal profession, whether from the bar or at the bar or on the bench. The example that was cited by David West about a judge falsifying his age.
Yeah.
That was in Imo State.
Yeah.
And 5 judges were excused. They were summarily dismissed by the NGC. You don't, if of course, because of the volume, because of the speed, people do not get it as much. I'm the middle past chairman of the NBA.
Yes, that's true.
I know how many issues of disciplinary infractions that we had to deal with, and lawyers are going through it. You see, any lawyer that continues, is just one step away from being debarred. I can tell you, almost every month, there's some level of discipline meted on lawyers. But because we do not have to come out to the press, people actually do not know. But it is highly and heavily regulated. And that's why, of course, more needs to be done. Maybe the process needs to be faster. However, if there's any profession that integrity and honesty should be given premier status, it's in the legal profession. Because first, as a judge, everything you do depends on knowledge and integrity.
Yeah.
a corrupt judge is a danger to society. The same way as a lawyer, it depends on your professional expertise and as well as your integrity. These two must go hand in hand. You know, it's a two-legged chair. It's a chair that has two legs. You can't stand on one and then leave the other.
It's true.
But people should also realize, like the example that was given by the professor of Mr. Ojienoh, you know, it's not everybody that can go into what is it, Golden Gate or
Yes, Golden Gate. Yes.
Golden Gate.
The gate is open,
The gate is open, but not everybody can actually go into it.
Yeah.
And when you are not able to afford it and you take your chances with people who have not built the requisite expertise, you now, of course, now blame either the judiciary or usually it's at the point cases fail at the point of proof or disproof.
Wow. Okay, the phone lines are open this time, and you can call. Some person is already calling. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning to your name and where you calling us from.
This is from Grassroot.
From Bradford. Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think with what Ezekwesili says, is against the politicians. Now, my contribution is this. If a state governor will appoint a chief judge, and the executive now appoint the CJN, you see that every other person goes down to the tool of the executive. And when you come to the aspect of the legislators themselves, when they now raise a bill, the executive will now sign to it before it becomes a law. Everybody now is under the subject of the executive. And that is the reason why you see that, including the judges, the NBA themselves, they cannot say we are not going to be subject to what? To the politicians. See, with what all is happening in this nation, the ordinary man knows that even the judiciary is not independent. They are under subjection. Look at the case of the River State. Will you expect the poor man to speak? If a governor will come up to say, okay, I want to stand for right, including the judges and everything, the executive will still keep quiet. Is it the ordinary man that will speak? We talk about Senator Natasha Wilson. Is it the ordinary man? Which voice did the ordinary man have? I think there was a time they had a meeting at the ABC Hotel, the wreck for Bayelsa State was there, the Commissioner of Police was there. I think Najit was there. We are there, prior to an election. And I decided to ask a question. And when I asked that question, I said, okay, you Commissioner of Police, you wreck. You said, there are people that have been arrested, executed for electoral offenses.
Yeah.
Now, tell me, what the statistics and their societal status? It is just the ordinary man.
Okay, point noted.
Yeah, so they should just please, separate the judiciary, the legislative from this person, including the island.
Okay, point noted. Thank you. Barrister Somina, you wanted to react to something.
Okay, just for purpose of public enlightenment.
Yeah.
The governors do not appoint the chief judge of a state. The governors do not even appoint judges. The governors also do not appoint the CGN, or the president does not appoint the CGN. Theirs is just more of stamping what is done by the NJC. The employers of the NJC, the people that recruits them, that disciplines them, that fires them, is actually the NJC. Now, just a final point. In this recent constitutional amendment process, the Nigerian Governors Forum, they've made a proposal for the powers of full appointment to be resident in them. That's for governors to now be the ones to appoint judges and chief judges. Of course, the NBA, the body of no, I mean the body of heads of courts, which is the chief judges of the state high courts, have written a counter proposal, and I think that would actually anything that tries to put appointments in the governors fully as being fully responsible will be counterproductive to our legal system. I just thought that I should make that correction.
Sorry, I want to ask a question.
Okay.
Somina. But we've had cases of where when they retire, when a chief judge is retiring, Mr. A, based on seniority, is supposed to take over.
Yeah.
And we've had cases where governors have gone ahead to retire that one so as to appoint the one they feel. Has it not happened?
No. Now, these are things which are tried to happen, but NJC has taken a stand and has stopped it.
Okay.
The condition is very, very clear. Once a judge is the head of court, either the CJ is or the president of the customary court of appeal is indisposed, the next most senior steps in acting capacity.
Okay, sir.
Now,
we just want to go on a break and we'll come back to that. Thank you. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
This is your golden moment. 97.5 Golden FM, the gold standard of radio.
Want to grow your business fast? Golden 97.5 FM has got the perfect solution for you. You can locate our radio house at Mike Okpokpo Street, Bansha, Yenagua, Bayelsa States. Whether it's your business, music, event, or special promo, Golden FM has got you covered. So hurry now and let's put your brand in the spotlight. The Bayelsa Media Awards are here again. Guess what? Golden FM 97.5, your gold standard of radio, has been nominated for Radio Station of the Year. And we've got some of your favorite shows and OAPs on the list too. Vote for Christy with the Golden K. Golden Sports, Worship and Word, Pepe Soup Zone, Let's Talk Nigeria, Wobeniere. Golden FM, your station of the year. Want to vote? Here's how. Step 1. Go to www.bma.org.ng. Step 2. Click Vote Now and enter your email. Step 3. Pick your fave nominees. Step 4. Choose how many votes you want to give. Step 5. Make payments, card, bank, or transfer. Step 6. Boom! Vote confirmed. Each vote costs just 100 naira. Max 50 votes per nominee. Vote again September 20th. Golden FM 97.5. Your gold standard of radio.
Shining brighter than ever. 97.5 FM, the gold standard of radio.
Yes, welcome back to Let's Talk Nigeria, and the conversations are still going and ongoing. And of course, we have in the studio right here in Enugu, we have Barrister Somina Johnbull, the immediate past chairman of the NBA Enugu, and also we have Comrade David West, that happens to be the chairman of the Civil Liberty Organization in Bayelsa, and joining us all the way from Lagos, very specially, we have the man we call Barrister Justice Ojienoh. Thank you for joining. The lights are already buzzing. Let's just really just get to attend to them at this time. Hello, good morning.
Well, good morning.
Good morning. Please, quickly, please.
Okay, as usual. I still remain reporting from Enfa.
Okay.
Please, I have one question for David West. Chief David West,
Yes.
are you a legal practitioner by profession?
I say no to it.
Okay. I just based on your expert analysis.
Okay.
And secondly, according to your news you just read, I picked something from that news. There's an adjournment again for the local government election not to hold in Rivers State. Is that also not part of what we are talking about? And second, the part B of this very question: why is it constitutional for a sole administrator to conduct a local government election That's my question. Thank you very much.
Okay, I think over to our lawyers. Barrister,
Oh, yeah,
Barrister Justice,
Ojienoh, please.
It's your time.
Okay, I don't think I heard that in the news bulletin you just gave. What I heard in the news bulletin was that I think the ex parte application was the injunction was declined,
Yes.
and the court adjourned to actually hear the full matter.
Yeah.
So as for whether a sole administrator has the power to conduct elections, it's going to be sub judice or prejudice for me to comment on it at this stage, because it is a matter that is presently before a court. So I am sorry I may not be able to speak on that because of the ethics of my profession. So I want to just advise the caller that we should wait till when the court will make its decision on that.
Okay, thank you. So the lines that are buzzing at this time, let's get to hear that. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Your name and where you calling us from?
Yeah, my name is Evan, and I greet your guest there.
Okay, they greet you too.
Okay. You said something what I've seen is that the judicial in Nigeria, before they can keep a legitimate a law and pass a judgment that is fair, I mean, some of them, I think they have to stand alone. They have to be autonomous.
Okay.
Because now the federal government is the one paying them. You understand? So you can't even kick against your master. You don't even have much say because they don't pay you. You understand? And Nigeria, what happens in Nigeria is that at times it's not even their fault, because it is what the leaders in the country have subjected them into. The only thing in the law of power, the only way for you to make a man your slave is to torture him with hunger. You understand? And that's what they are playing on us. They make Nigerians go home. So when election comes, when they throw money at us, we accept, because they don't have our option. It only takes an integrity person to say, this one I'm not taking it. Though I'm hungry, I will not take it. You understand? So what I'm trying to, like I just rightly said, let us orient the people. Let them make them to understand. They should stand on their integrity and also sell their right for devil's money. You understand? No matter what, no matter you're going through pain, let's stand on their integrity. That's justice, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Point noted. Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Please, your name, where are you calling us from?
Okay, my name is Somina Johnbull from Obulomu.
Okay, please, Peter, go ahead.
Yeah. Please, there is a question I want to put to you.
Okay.
Your girl. I get to see some persons as a Sharia lawyer.
Okay.
I want to ask: are they a member of the Nigerian Bar Association?
So repeat again. Repeat. You have to be very audible so we can hear. Louder, please.
Okay. I said I see some people that are Sharia. You have a Sharia lawyer.
Sharia lawyers.
Sharia judge. Yes, you have Sharia judge.
Okay.
I want to ask.
Okay.
Are they members to the Nigerian Bar Association?
Okay.
Yes, they are.
That is the first. Okay, good.
Yes, they are.
Okay. Thank you. We'll respond to that.
Sharia lawyers, members of the NBA.
I don't know what is called Sharia lawyer.
We only have judges of Sharia.
I think maybe what it means, and then is you might there's Sharia courts.
Yeah, they are. There
are Sharia courts.
Yeah.
Over here in the south, we have what's called customary courts.
Okay.
Now, the head of the customary court would always usually be a member of the legal profession.
Yeah.
Either so in the south we call them chairman, in Bayelsa, chairman of customary courts.
Okay.
In Delta State they call them presidents of customary courts.
Okay.
So there are Sharia courts, and then in there what we have here that sits as appeal as appellate jurisdiction over customary courts. We have customary courts of appeal.
Yeah.
Now for them they call them Qadis and Grand Qadis. Of the Sharia of their own courts.
Yeah.
But they can also sit with, especially at the lower level, they can sit with non-lawyers.
Okay.
But for the lawyers, they are lawyers. So, and there's nothing like Sharia lawyer.
Okay, point noted. Point noted. So you remember we're streaming live on Facebook. That 97.5 Golden FM. Get there. You can drop your comments. And the phone lines too. You can see call 0707 747 1522 or 0912 0001975. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Your name? Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Obulomu, and the name remains Mr. Silvanus.
Okay, Mr. Silvanus from Obulomu. Please go ahead.
What I want to say is that the judiciary is the hope of everybody. I feel that they should help us because the politicians are doing what they are doing. The judiciary cannot do them anything. Please, they should help us because if a thief comes to a house and know that there's no police, they can remain there and eat and wash their hands. The politicians are doing what they do because they feel that they can do it and get away with it. So I don't know how somebody will know that this thing is wrong and continue to do it. We don't have the power to go after these people because if you go, you risk your life. Do the right. America is better than Nigeria because of rule of law. Let Nigeria uphold the rule of law. Let the judiciary save the masses because if they are not doing what they're supposed to do, we shall continue to suffer. God bless you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning once again.
I'm sorry. Perry. Okay, please, quickly, 30 seconds, please.
Okay, I still remain voting for America. I think my question maybe is not too clear. Let me make it clear a little.
Okay.
What I mean is that in your news, you say the judgment was adjourned or something like that. I think that again is another politics in judiciary. In order to, it was adjourned.
Okay.
Yes, it was adjourned to allow the election hold, which is not supposed to.
The substantive case has been adjourned to September 10th for hearing. The substantive.
So does that mean the elections will hold?
The election will go ahead. That does not mean that the election is valid or not valid. The election will go ahead, and with parents, you see, this thing, just like I'm not a lawyer, but the lawyers here will correct me if I'm wrong. The court is not like a Swale market or Basha market where you just go say, madam, give me pepper, give me onion, give me tomato, I want cook stew. No, there are matters, the one that requires that, okay, let us take time to look at it, bring your evidence, just like I said. That is what court does. It doesn't just say, okay, because the election is on Saturday, we must hear the matter today. No, it's not done like that.
Okay.
It's not done like that.
Yeah. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Me for Gbassa, me Comr West. I agree with in the.
Okay, we're going to too. Please, quickly.
My name remains Mr.
Please speak up a little bit. We need it to be audible.
Okay, Mr. David.
Okay, Mr. David, please go ahead. Okay.
It's like I want to make my assertion in this way. It's like we are forgetting the real topic of today. The real topic, according to the list of this Mama Ezekwesili, I can record that this Mama is trying to put this judge at their toe in deciding cases, electoral cases in Nigeria. It's not about we are talking of, yes, it's trying to tell them their thoughts when they were deciding electoral cases in Nigeria. Because you can't say that you are a judge, you have the credibility of becoming a judge. When you come to the smaller cases of individuals, you stand on your toe and say, this is what is right, this is what is wrong. But when it comes to the case of electoral cases, the presidential cases, and some other governor cases in the country, you try to persuade your way, speak big grammar, to deceive them and decide wrong cases for us. That is what this Mama is trying to do. And it is very good, and with all of us, we lend our voices. I guess, let me digress a little. The legal luminaries in the guests today and the ones speaking from Lagos, I think they are trying to defend their profession.
Sorry.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Just hold on.
Excuse me, we're talking politics. And if we did, my brother, if we you not see this in this manner, there is no way we can say we are talking about change. You also be advocating for change of the system. And you try to digress, you try to cover up issues. If you cover up
Okay, hold on. Okay, point noted. Point noted, sir. Just hold on. Just try and listen to me. You know, in everything we played what she said, and in the midst of everything, there was a plethora of things that she spoke about.
Exactly.
A plethora of things that she talked about, including prebendalism. That we even talked about how that political office holders are using to deprive 133 million poverty Nigerians in poverty level. That is not the judiciary that is doing that. It's the people in government. And that's why even when Barrister Somina was even talking in his first statement, he said in midst of all of these things that she said, everything she said are the things that everybody is already is there in the conversation. But have we begun to hold our people accountable in the 3 tiers of government? That's what we're talking about. So nobody digress anywhere. We're only spread in the spreadsheet of conversation. These are the things we're talking.
Put the lawyer's neck on the guillotine.
And that's that. So all we say today, we're just going to be there. No,
you know that's classical Shakespearean era ideology about judges. Kill all the lawyers. Kill all the lawyers. Now there's nothing here that has actually tried to cover up anything except we just want to play to the gallery.
Yeah.
And the issue of prebendalism has little or nothing to do with the judiciary. Prebendalism, I'm sure people should actually realize, is a system of governance where the leaders believe that they have a right to the Commonwealth for themselves, their cronies, and their ethnic nationality, and then the ethnic group. That has nothing to do with the judiciary.
Yes.
And I think that the conversation should be, how can lawyers, lead the charge
as a point
as an elitist profession in holding our leaders accountable. And I think what everybody has said here is coming together, but in much more, it's not just to seclude lawyers, but all of us have to work together to get it done. This issue of bashing judiciary, some of them are unfounded. I'm sure even the person talking has never had a lawsuit, but with respect, stays in a beer parlor, generates stories, and then blames the judiciary. No. A beer parlor analogy is actually...
I know.
No. Beer parlor, let me just tell you. Beer parlor analogy is actually a metaphor used amongst us as lawyers. It is not derogatory, so it's not in essence derogatory. However, I do not also think, because we're trying to have a very balanced conversation, except it has an objective which might appeal to certain persons. But you see, the essence of this program is more about public enlightenment.
That's true.
And which is why we've had conversations without excusing anyone. And I mean, we must commend also this station. They've been able to allow everybody speak freely.
Yeah.
And there's not been any cover up at all of anybody. There has to be a balance.
That's true.
Okay, Barrister Ojienoh, going forward, just like Somina Johnbull has stated here in Enugu, what role do these few privileged, how can they set the agenda for the populace and the lousy politicians, quoting Madam, how can these few privileged people, which we are among them, start the conversation for a better society from the legal point of view?
Okay, for me, I feel that a lot of
Hello?
Having some network connection issue there with the audio from Lagos.
Okay. We can't hear you, but we know that you were trying to say something.
We're having network connection with your audio. Our engineers will be working on it. Okay, maybe we'll do that one to Barrister Somina Johnbull. You're a lawyer. Where do we start placing the block to start rebuilding the so-called conversation about what Madam spoke and what every concerned Nigerian spoke? Where do Commercial start from?
I think that has been the meat of our conversation all day.
Yeah.
Which is that we all need to become more alive to our responsibilities.
Everybody.
Every one of us. It's not, let's have a role to play, let's would lead the charge, but it's something that we must always do. Drawing attention to, and not having to look at things subjectively, but to look at things objectively for the benefit and for the benefit of. Now, so are you aware that on account of his a senior lawyer, on account of his action, was barred by the court from holding political office for a number of years?
That's good.
Are you also aware that Pauline Talen, she's a lawyer?
Yeah.
Former minister.
Yeah.
Was also barred for holding public office on account of a comments that she made. So these are ways that we hold people responsible.
That's good.
Okay,
let's go back to the court. I think we have just hold on. I think we have.
Yes, we can hear you now. We can hear you now.
Okay, so I was also trying to weigh in on what the last caller said, and he talked about. I think his own emotion. He was a bit emotional, with all due respect, on the electoral part of what judges do and all. It is the job of a judge, we must be reminded, is as contained in Section 6 of our Constitution. The job of a judge is to interpret the law. It is only in exceptional cases and in very, very rare cases that judges are to create what we call precedents and create a law. And it is very, very rare. But where there is black and white law, whether it's contained in legislative law or in constitutional law, the judge must follow it. Let me give you some of the peculiarities that Nigerians are now aware of. There's a rule in the Evidence Act that talks about the rule against hearsay. The rule against hearsay is that it is only a person that saw something, that heard something, that felt something, or that tasted something, that can give testimony on that thing. Let's go to the past election. There are about 174,000 polling units during the election. Let's assume that 20,000 polling units, which I think is much more, had terrible results, or there was violence and things like that. Do you know that the position of our law presently, pursuant to the Evidence Act, is that it is only a person that was present at that polling unit that can give testimony of what exactly transpired at that polling unit? Let's assume, for the sake of assumption, that we now have to present 2,000 witnesses just to say, in one part in Bayelsa, one part in Delta, in 100 parts in Kano, that this thing happened. For every single witness, there has to be examination of the witness, there has to be cross-examination of the witness, and there may be re-examination of the witness. And for every single witness, there may be, you can spend up to, the last case we did, one of the last cross-examination we did last week, took 3 hours. Just for examination. We have not even started cross-examination for one witness. Imagine if that had to be done for
20,000,
maybe 100,000 polling units. That happened.
Where time is of essence.
So how long do you think that case will take? And that is the law. So I feel that, and that's just one example. I feel that if we have to get our electoral matters right, there has to be serious amendments. Just like we say that electoral laws are sui generis, they are special, they are in the case of their own. We must also create separate special evidentiary rules for electoral matters. we have the constitution. The period for instituting electoral matters, I think, pursuant to our constitution, is 180 days. So, and if anything doesn't happen within the 1 days, then the case is it has to be tossed out, because just like I said, electoral matters are extremely sensitive, and if you make any slight mistake or any form of adjustment, the constitution and the law is that it be thrown out. So when the constitution says something clearly, and these are just a few, there are also issues with the electoral act. These are just a few that I just want to give for the sake of time. What will a judge do? What will a judge do? Their hands are tied, just like the judge said, the Justice Showerimo said in the case of Obulomu and Shagari, just like my learned senior in studio said, that we can't blame the judges and the judiciary for that. They have to interpret their constitutional, but if we now feel that, we want to give them another rule, we have to amend the constitution and amend the laws and change their roles. But if we say that their roles should be as constitutionally defined, we cannot now blame them for doing exactly what the laws and the constitution say. As much as possible, one of the gifts and the calling of a lawyer is to be at least emotional to marshal your case with facts and evidence. If it doesn't fall within the facts, if it doesn't fall within it, we don't, as lawyers and as judges, we do not have the privilege of doing things with our emotions. And I also want to commend you to the case of our case authority for the fact that a judge must not, on how he appears to the public, hold facts and evidence before the law.
Wow, that is.
Thank you so much, Justice Ojienoh. That is quite insightful you gave to us there. We appreciate you for joining us all the way from Lagos in this program. We hope that next time when we reach out to you, Bayansans and Nigerians, we want to hear from you. We appreciate it so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you.
One more time, I say Mbana one more time, so you could learn the language very quickly. I can see you smiling already. Thank you. Yeah, he said it. That's nice. That's nice. So that's wow. I think the phone lines I see.
Let me ask David West. David West, as member of the Civil Liberty Group, and you people, you just like Barrister Somina highlighted you people you're doing a wonderful job and most criticized and with less benefits. Nobody even cares to even bribe you people. If they want to buy, they can't buy you people. And so, from your own perception, how do we start rejigging the entire process in such a way that nobody is guillotined and will get a better society?
I think for me, the ongoing constitutional amendments, that is particularly one, issue I think we need to amend or take a proper look at in the Nigerian constitution. And this aspect of this very aspect of the constitution I'm looking at is the idea where we have to separate the office of the Attorney General and that of either the Commissioner or the Minister for Justice. In my own humble opinion, the office of the Attorney General is one sensitive office that we must not make it a political office.
Okay.
I'm saying this because if the provision of non-led prosecution as enshrined in the 1999 Constitution as amended is there, that gives power to the Attorney General to step down any matter, the Attorney General can as well be called by either the governor or the president to say, I'm interested in this issue. For the sake of the state, stand down this matter. And the next day, you hear the Attorney General tell you, we are filing an application for withdrawal. You see, the commissioner as a politician can do that. but not the Attorney General. So let us separate these two offices.
Okay.
The commissioner can be a politician to be appointed from anywhere, but the Attorney General must be a core career servant and will not be at the instances of the instruction or the beck and call of the governor or the president, as the case may be. He should work according to the rules of the professional conduct. So for me, we have to look at that. Then again too, indeed, sometimes some very senior lawyers will lead politicians to misbehave in a manner they are misbehaving. Politicians too, as individuals, which we are also wanting to do things done in our right way. I've seen a situation whereby the man is being advised that this matter you are bringing, you are just wasting time. There is no matter there. But all the man is telling him is, file am, file am. Even if there is nothing, file am. We will use and delay time. You get the point. Now, the general public outside there does not know what is happening. The next thing you hear is, oh, the judge don't chop bribe. The judiciary is no more the last hope of the common man. But somebody has pressured this man. File am, could take and delay time. But you, as a professional, you know, you must not do it. We must have this integrity to say, no, I don't want to accept this brief. I see nothing in this brief. This is my advice to you. But if you don't want to take it, it's your own. You decline. So we need to help ourselves. The temple of justice must remain the temple of justice.
Okay. Well, a listener just sent me a message and talking about whether NGC have dismissed judges. You just cited
They
examples.
dismissed several judges. Several judges.
You just cited some.
A lot.
Okay. Let's go back to the calls.
Yeah, we'll go back to the phone lines now because they may buzz while we're having the conversation. See 0707 747 1522 and 0912 0001 Call us and let's know what's happening. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Your name and where you calling us from?
My name is Oby. I'm calling from Johnbull.
Okay, I'm Oby, please. Go ahead.
DJ, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Guys, Midwest, good morning.
Morning.
Please, I want to say something because there's something that I heard. I don't know if it's from the guest in the studio, the lawyer, say something like, and start to be corrected. Say something like, if there is a bride to be given, a bride will be taken, will be accepted. If there is a bride to be given.
Okay.
No. Analogy.
No, I didn't say that.
No, it was bystander journal. Okay. Let's.
It's an analogy.
Okay.
I know that it's an analogy. But if you, the judges, you are like a father, you are like a God that we are seeing, that we give the justice, not even the judgment, because I believe that there is difference between justice and the judgment. Of which that justice is what we are lacking here in this part of the world. Rather, they give judgment. If you, the judge there, sees when somebody is trying to bribe you, and you know that one who is innocent will not give bribe, or one who is on the right side will not give. Rather, one who is guilty or who is on the wrong side will give bribe. Why won't you say no more? Can't you have that integrity to resist evil, to say no when you are ought to say no?
Okay. I'm Oby. Point noted.
In every profession in the world, there are good and the bad side. There are bad ones among them. But the bad ones could be very few, and they could want to give bad name to the people. So they are not saying they are unfallible. The judges and the lawyers are humans like me and you.
There are some judges, you go and meet them privately, maybe as friend, relation, or whatever. And when you come to the courtroom the next day,
they will deal with
hear
you.
what the man. In fact, the last warning is given to you. If you try it again, you go to.
No.
Okay, let's get to the call.
It's not encouraging corruption.
Well, we're taking we're taking the final call at this time. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Paul Gbassa.
Good morning to you.
And the people in the studio.
Okay, your name, please, quickly.
My name is Felix Ndikoro.
Okay, Felix.
From Wari.
Oh, Felix from Wari, please go ahead.
Yes. I want to know if somebody went to court and swore an affidavit, is that not a valid document?
It is. Affidavit is valid in court now.
Yes. Affidavit is a sworn affidavit.
It's a valid court by law. Valid. Yeah. It's admissible.
Good. Okay, very good. Since that becomes a document, a valid document, I want to talk about the 26 lawmakers that defected from the PDP to the APC, who went to court, sworn an affidavit that they have defected from the PDP to the APC. At the same time, this matter was taken to court, up to the Supreme Court. But because it was published, everybody saw the affidavit. But this matter went up to the Supreme Court. But they did not judge this matter, the case, in respect of this.
Okay, Felix, let us save time. We have a constitutional lawyer here. Maybe we'll explain it. But the little I know is that if a member of the National Assembly defects, it is the speaker that will declare his seat vacant. But unfortunately, in this Riverstone case, the speaker was among those that defected. So who will declare it vacant? Oh yeah, over to you, Mr. Somina.
No, you're giving the answer.
Is that the answer?
That's the answer.
Okay, so
that's the answer.
So if that's the answer, I think it settles.
Nobody can declare his seat vacant.
Okay, please, I think it has to be this way. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Gbassa and my brothers in the Split West.
Good morning.
The person that's from Wari just now, the last caller, I've said it all. Who is calling? I listened to one, it's a PDP national lawyer before. That man is from Kwara or Kogi. The lawyer that you should know what I'm saying about. The man is very tall. He said that if a man become from water, that is vacant. Is that as Jacobson is asking that man from Wari? Is the speaker bigger than the constitution?
Okay, just hold on. Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll answer to that. We'll answer to it. Thank you. Because of time. Because
I'm not finished. Allow me.
Because of time. We are on the final note.
These politicians, they will come to court. When they come to court and get victims, because the justice is for the common man. And sometimes when they rig, they will tell you that we will go to rig and go to court.
Okay, noted.
The politician will tell you that we will go to rig and go to court.
Okay.
So constitution is the constitution. Like look at what is happening in the local government autonomy now. Local government autonomy that federal government take the governors into court. Up to now, that judgment has been implemented.
Okay, noted. Point noted. Thank you. Okay. Finally, final thoughts, Barrister Somina. What will be your final thoughts in all of these conversations we said because of time?
Well, I think my final thoughts is to thank your station for this kind of discussions.
Appreciate you.
And also for extending time for this. I know it will cost you guys a lot, but I mean, just doing this, and it's not really appreciated, and people do not really understand. You know, you could have used this time to just play music, entertain people, but you're doing a yeoman's job in trying to bring about conversations. I'm sure people are listening. The reactions actually show that people are listening. There's still work to be done, but you see, change doesn't just begin with your neighbor. Change begins with you. The people listening, me that's talking, we all should do the right thing. If we see something, we should say it. We shouldn't. I'm telling you, we've seen, and I'm sure, and this is not also to indict the communists in the civil society, but we've seen a situation where somebody that is talking about bad governance. The moment you appoint the person turns turncoat and begins to perpetrate, defend the same actions he criticizes. This same also happens with lawyers, with just all around. So it means that we need to have this kind of conversation. So I think for me, I wouldn't want to reiterate what has been said, but just to commend the management of Golden FM.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Comrade David West.
Yeah, what Dr. Oby Ezekwesili, her position she has, raised is very key. It behoves on us as Nigerians to look at the issues she has raised, work upon it, and to make Nigeria a great place for all of us. But the most important thing here is, as citizens, followers, we must know that the change for Nigeria to be a great place, it must be from we, the followers. We are the people to restructure this country the way we want it. Thank you.
Thank you. Jacobson, what will be your final thought?
Well, I think Nigeria can only get better when we expand the conversation and we act beyond the conversation. What will be, Madam Obi said, valid point. It's not something that is new. She just said it from the bottom of her heart, and it behoves that let's act on it so that we can start. See, Rome is still being built, just like somebody said. Rome is still being built. Let us start rebuilding this country. It's not irredeemable. It is not.
Okay, it's not irredeemable, and that's our ending conversation at this time. Remember, all of the comments and views and opinions were independent of Golden 97.5 FM. And thank you for being a part of us on Let's Talk Nigeria. Of course, we're wrapping up, but we want to say thank you to Barrister Somina. Thank you for coming, sir. And,
thank you for having me.
Thank you. Comr David West and also Barrister Justice Ojienoh, and of course my tag team partner at this time, Jacobson. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. God bless you. And let's listen to Two-Face Idibia say, come, make we go. Yes, come, make we go. Let's enjoy our weekend. Thank you for listening.